Welcome and thank you for joining into today's Positive Forward Motion. This is your host, Denise Scattergood. Each week I discuss a topic that is designed to help you get more of what you do want and less of what you don't want, both personally and professionally. My goal is to add value to others by sharing a topic in 8 minutes or less, topics that will empower, motivate, and inspire you to have more happiness and success. Today's topic is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome may be a fairly new term, but it's an old adage. Let me explain. Have you ever felt like you don't actually know what you're doing even though people think that you do? Have you ever worried that people in your life might find out the truth about you? Well, if you said yes, it may comfort you to know that research has identified that approximately 70% of the population say they have experienced imposter syndrome at one time or another in their life. And this includes people like former First Lady Michelle Obama and Goop CEO Gwyneth Paltrow. And if you aren't sure what imposter syndrome is, it's a term used to describe when you feel like a fraud, fake, or phony in the workplace or another aspect of life. Essentially, you don't feel deserving of what you've accomplished because you are, well, an imposter. And you believe that there are more deserving people than you who actually know what they're doing. I recently saw an episode on Good Morning America where actress comedian Casey Wilson, mother of two, admitted to having motherhood imposter syndrome. She revealed that she felt unprepared for motherhood. She also said that she began blaming herself when she noticed something was wrong with her now 4-year-old son. She said this. She said, I feel like I'm working too much, or I didn't cook enough vegetables, I didn't breastfeed him long enough. She said she went through a list of things. Then, when she stopped focusing on what she believed were her shortcomings and started to focus on finding help for her son, and once they identified what was wrong with her son and they found a solution, not until then did Wilson say her guilt of being a bad parent was lifted. Now she no longer feels like an imposter mom. Well, it's great that she came to that realization, but I don't want you to have to wait for a life-changing experience to realize that you are not an imposter. I want you to thrive and be all that you can be. Suffering from imposter syndrome not only makes us feel ashamed of ourselves, it can also lead to high levels of stress, increased anxiety, depression. It also hinders our personal and professional success. And according to Dr. Valerie Young, there are 5 different types of imposter syndrome. And I'm going to share them with you. And you may have a couple of them or one or maybe none. And that would be great as well. So number 1 is the perfectionist. The perfectionist, this is the one you've most likely heard of before. It's someone who sets impossibly high standards. And when they don't meet these standards, they feel shame. Number 2 is the soloist. Soloists feel like they must get everything done on their own with no help. And when they do get help, they refuse to take credit for the work they've done. Number 3 is the natural genius. Natural geniuses believe that everything should come easy to them. Otherwise, they're not naturally talented. Number 4 is the expert. The expert is someone who feels like they need to know everything. And when they don't, they feel ashamed. And number 5, the Superman or Superwoman. The Superman and Superwoman feel that they should excel at everything they do. And if you fall into one or more of these imposter thinking traps, well, guess what? You're not alone. And the good news is, if you thought yourself into them, then you can think yourself out of them. And of course, I've done my research and I've gathered 5 things that you can do to remind yourself each day to help you counteract imposter syndrome so you can thrive. Number 1 is know that feelings aren't fact. There's going to be times in your life where you just don't feel smart. For lack of a better word, you feel stupid. Well, it doesn't mean you are stupid. It just means you need to learn. Number 2, learn from your mistakes. If you feel you made a huge mistake in your life, stop dwelling on it. Take a moment to reflect on it. I know there's something you can learn from this, and then you can take it and move forward with you. And you won't make the same mistake again. Number 3, throw away the rules. If you have mental rules for yourself, such as I'm not allowed to ask for help, or I have to know the answer, or everything I do must be perfect, counteract these rules by telling yourself the truth that no one is perfect, that everyone makes mistakes, and everyone has off days, and that everyone needs help from time to time. Number 4, validate yourself. People who struggle with imposter syndrome often feel that they need outside validation from people around them. I need you to learn to validate yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be humble. You want to stay humble and kind, but you need to tell yourself that you did a good job. Be proud of yourself and acknowledge the hard work that you did and give yourself a pat on the back when you deserve it. And number 5, understand that some people know more than you do, and that's okay. It's natural that someone with more experience than you will also know more than you, and that's great because that's how you learn. Remember, achievement requires time and learning. It simply isn't something that happens overnight. Take a musician, for example. We all know that they're not an overnight success. We all know that they've been working behind the scenes and grinding hard for years until they finally reach the spotlight. So remind yourself of that fact. And I'm here to remind you that you are not an imposter. There's only one of you, and there's never going to be another one of you again, ever. You are unique, and you are here on purpose. So do the things that bring meaning and happiness to your life. Because when you do, you will be shining your light on others. You deserve more. You deserve to feel proud of yourself. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve the great achievement and success in your life. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this episode, please rate and review and share this podcast to help us spread our message of positive forward motion. And don't forget, you can follow me for more daily doses of positivity on Instagram and Facebook at Denise Scattergood, and you can find me on Twitter at Alert Trainers. You can also opt in for my daily text messages by texting the word positive to 313131. And remember, each episode comes with a free worksheet to help keep you on track. It's simple. Just go to denisescattergood.com. You can find a free PDF download link under each episode. And be sure to tune in every Wednesday for a brand new episode. And remember, no matter how small your step is, as long as you're taking it in the right direction, that's what I call positive forward motion.